Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today is the first episode of the series about the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In this series, I will not talk about I will talk about different companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but I will not talk about his life from his birth until his death. I will talk about a main synopsis of his life, kind of like a main incident or a main event that took place in his life. How did he embrace Islam? How did he meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And what's the most important incident or event that happened to him while he was accompanying Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Um, uh, my source is mainly the book that was written by Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Basha, and the book's title in Arabic is Suwar min Hayat al-Sahaba. In English, it could be translated as Synopsis from the Lives of the Companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As an introduction to this series, I want to tell you that many times when I talk to our young men and women about the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they mostly uh, get this mental vision about them as old men, very wise, very long beards. They have their canes in their hands, and they talk slowly. Yes, one of these picture, one of these features is the right one. They had beards. Could be long, could be short, depending on the personality or the person who had the beard. Other than that, I want you to know that most of the Sahaba or the companions of Rasulullah ﷺ were young. Zubayr ibn al-Awwam was almost 9 years old when he embraced Islam. Ali ibn Abi Talib was 7 years old. Hadrat Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, was 12 and a half, almost 12 and a half years younger than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu was almost 2.5 years younger than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Uthman ibn Affan, Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Mus'ab ibn Umair, all those people were younger than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and many of them were in their teenagers when they embraced Islam. And those are the ones who carried Islam upon their shoulders to bring the message to us nowadays. Those are the ones who paid with their lives, with their blood, to bring the Islam message as pure as it is right now to us, to learn from them. Those are our people from whom we learn. Those are the ones who conveyed the message of Rasulullah to us. Those are the ones who narrated the hadith of Rasulullah to us. You know, the sources of teachings in Islam, the sources of aqidah, or the sources of knowledge in Islam are Quran, and then the hadith of Rasulullah, then the ijtihad, which means the hard working and the hard studying of the scholars of Islam. So the Sahaba comes in the second place because they are the ones who narrated the hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One other thing is this: they worked hard to bring the message to us, and many of them used to go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to ask about some of the mistakes that they have done, or to ask about whether what they have done is halal or haram, because they didn't know. And by these questions, we learned also Islam, and we learned the teachings of Islam through the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is everything that has been done by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or everything that has been said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the messenger of Allah, or anything that has been done or said by one of the companions and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam agreed about it, or he accepted it as a behavior. This makes it sunnah. This makes it sunnah. Also, Islam. I was reading something lately in Encyclopedia Britannica about monotheism. And Encyclopedia Britannica said that Islam is the only religion that has pure monotheism in it. Islam is very distinct when it comes to monotheism. Deity. There is only one deity in Islam. There is only one God worthy of worshipping in Islam. And the idea of monotheism is as clear as it can be only in Islam. Only in Islam. This is what Encyclopedia Britannica said. What it said about Christianity, and the claim of some that it is one of the religions of monotheism, you can read what did Encyclopedia Britannica said about it. And you will know at once you start to read, that Islam is different when it comes to the glorifying of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the only deity worthy of worshipping. Now, that being said, this idea of monotheism was appealing to the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The idea of worshipping many idols, tens of idols, made many of them think about it. Even before the ba'tha of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam starts to receive the revelations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Zayd ibn Nufayl. Zayd ibn Nufayl died before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam becomes a prophet. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked by Umar ibn al-Khattab, because he's related to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, and he said, and one of his cousins, can we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgiveness for Zayd ibn Nufayl? He said yes. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said, we should not ask forgiveness for those who had a partner with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when he says yes to Zayd ibn Nufayl, it means that Zayd ibn Nufayl is one of the mu'mineen, one of the believers. How come before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because he was following the teachings of Ibrahim alayhi salam. What does this tell us? It tells us that some of the people at that time did not like the idea of worshipping more than one God. Okay? Polytheism it's called. So this is the introduction for our talk about the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's a very short episode, and I am introducing here my philosophy of talking about them and how I will be talking about them. And inshallah, I will see you in the next episode when we talk about Sa'id ibn Amir al-Jumahi. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope that this series will be of some benefit to people whose language is not the Arabic language, and especially to our children and our kids and our teenagers who may have like some difficulties finding sources to learn from them about Islam, about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which I intend inshallah to make a series about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam too. I gave the seerah here in the Islamic center of the city in which I live almost two times, almost 2 years ago, but unfortunately it was not recorded on video. So I plan to redo it again just for the sake of being published on YouTube. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy for anybody who is looking about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to find it, and I hope it will be of some kind of benefit for whomever will listen to it. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope it will be a good time that you will spend with me, and I see you inshallah in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.